Hey, you guys, I'm Tashina.
Oh no. I'm Megamind.
And this is Portia.
I'm Megamind.
And today we're going to be talking about good old Ed Gein. So, Ed Gein, who is this man? This man has inspired one of our favorite and iconic horror movie characters.
Hello, Clary.
He has inspired Norman Bates from Psycho, Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lamb. So today we're going to get into the dark side of Ed Gein. Alright, so Ed Gein was born Edward Theodore Gein. He was born August 27, 1906 in La Crosse, Wisconsin. Ed's mother, Augustus, she was a religious woman. She believed that the world was evil and women was full of sin, and she was just a very religious woman.
This is bothering me, so I know it's probably bothering some of y'all. Tashina dropped the stand, so the thing is cricket. So let's just,
So if you're watching it and you're kind of like this, it's not you. It's not you. It's
okay.
It's the stand.
I just had to get that out there.
So when Ed and his brother were a little older, Augustus decided to move the family out of La Crosse because she said it's a stink hole of filth. And she thought Plainfield was going to be a better place to raise her kids.
It was more like Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah. So she thought that would be a better place to raise her and her sons.
Plainfield.
So the father, I guess the father died. He was there, but then he died, so he wasn't there. But she was more of the head of the house. Like, she was more, just the head of the house. The dad was just there, bringing in the money to take care of the family. So Ed never, he never left the house. The only time he ever left the house or the farm they lived on was to go to school. But he never really made any friends. His classmates described him as socially awkward, and he would just start laughing out of the blue. He'll just be sitting there and just start laughing. And they were like, what the hell? And he was often bullied because he had a lazy eye and because he had a speech impediment. So kids are
cruel.
So they pick on anything that's different or anything like that. But Ed, he adored his mom. He adored her. He embraced her harsh views of the world. He agreed with everything. But his brother Henry did not. He would oftentimes stand up to the mother. He would, stand his ground with her. Like, he did not agree with the mother. He wanted. Yeah, but Ed was right up under his mama. He loved him some Augustus. So but one day, but one day in 1944, Ed and his brother Henry went to set out to burn some vegetation of the field, but it got out of hand. And Ed came back, but Henry didn't. So when they went to search, for Henry, they found his body face down in the marsh, and he died of asphyxiation.
Ed led them to the body, so he knew where her brother was. Why didn't you go help him?
They believe, it's never proven, but it's believed that Henry was Ed's first victim. That he didn't like how he treated his mom. He wanted to be alone with his mom. He wanted to be just him and his mom. So it's believed, but never proven, that Ed killed his brother. That his brother was his
They didn't start thinking that, though, until after they found what Ed had been up to. Because at first they ruled it that
it was an accident.
That he hit his head and he had a heart attack and hit his head or something like that.
Yeah, he fell face first in the marsh or whatever.
Yeah.
So, since Henry was gone, Ed and Augusta was by themselves, and Ed loved it. He adored being just with him and his mom. But it didn't last long.
19 months.
Because Augustus died in 1994. 1945.
If she died in 1994.
1945. So after Augustus died, Ed transformed the house into like her shrine. Like, he literally locked the doors up from her room, anywhere that she spent time in, to keep it as a shrine. Like, shrine. Yeah. And he never would go in that room, so he moved all his stuff and slept on a little room that was on the side of the kitchen. Like, he literally just left the house untouched so it can, remind him of him. So he started, since he didn't have his mom and he was by himself on that farm, he started falling deep into obsession. He would fill his days into watching Nazi medication experiments, studying human anatomy, and just watching tons of porn. And then he would read horror novels.
He was very childlike as well, very immature. It's like he was in his 30s, but he never grew up. Yeah. He never actually became an adult. He just...
Because he was always Augustus' little boy. It was always just him and Augustus. He never had any other friends besides his mom. Because Henry, they didn't get along. So it was just him and his mama. So Ed Gein, he stayed under the radar for a long time until November 1957 with the local hardware store owner named Bernice Warden. She vanished. And the only thing they found in that store was just a blood stains, behind the counter. And Ed Gein was her last customer. He went up there to buy a gallon of antifreeze. So this when the cops were like, let me go check Mr. Ed Gein's.
But it took a while before they even, because it was hunting season. Yeah. So all the men were out hunting. So a couple of hours went by before they realized that she was missing. Yeah. And then that's when that was like,
but how did they find out Ed Gein was her last customer?
Because he filled the receipt.
Oh, the receipt.
Yeah. Okay. It was a receipt or something. Yeah. Something he signed. Yeah. Or something like that. And it led to him. And he shot this lady in the head, broad daylight, in the middle of the store, just poof, and then took her body.
And nobody knew it because the men were hunting, so...
Nobody went in the hardware store.
Mm-mm. So soon as they stepped into Ed's farmhouse, the first thing they seen was Bernice in the kitchen. She was dead, decapitated, hanging from her ankles from the rafters of the kitchen. Okay, this is not what... This isn't... They found bones, both whole and fragments. They found skulls on his bedpost and bowls and kitchen utensils made out of skulls and bones. So he had cereal bowls made out of skulls. He had forks and knives and spoons made out of bones. They found chairs that were upholstered by human skin, waste baskets made of skin, leggings made from human leg skin.
A jacket and a robe, too.
Masks made from faces. Belts made of nipples. He had a nipple belt.
Just nipples.
He had a pair of lips that he used for the window shade string. So you know the string? And they had the little thing at the end. It was human lips that he had for the drawstring. He had a corset made from a female torso. And he had a lampshade made from human faces. They also found dismembered body parts, including fingernails, 4 noses, and genitalia of 4 different women.
Now, before we get ahead of ourselves, it may seem like he was just out here just slaughtering people. He was a murderer. Yes. But not as many people as you would think. He would rob graves. Yeah.
So, Ed admitted that he got most of the remains from 3 local graveyards, which he started to visit after his mom died. So he wanted to go look for somebody that looked like his mama. But wouldn't you think he would just get his mama?
No, he pieced together other people.
Yeah, so he looked for a woman that resembled his mom. He wanted to make a woman suit so he could become his mom.
And wear
and crawl into the skin.
That is the what is it called? Where Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, that's where Buffalo Bill came. And then, yeah. And then the character. And then the character Norman Bates got that because his mom was religious. His mom thought women were filthy, and Norman Bates loved his mom.
And then Leatherface with putting on people's faces.
So that's where he got. So he was arrested, but he was found not guilty by reason of insanity in 1957. He was sent to a Central State Hospital for criminally insane and was diagnosed with schizophrenia. 10 years later, Ed was deemed fit to stand trial for the murder of Bernice. He spent the rest of his life in the Central Hospital until he died in 1984 at the age of 77. Nobody knows how many people Ed really killed. He only admitted to killing 2 people. So there's another woman there was a missing woman.
She was missing for years.
For years, her body was found in Ed Gein's house.
But they don't know how long that he kept her alive for either.
Because there's over 40 remains Like 40 people were in the house. They don't know if he killed them. I don't.
And some they couldn't identify. I don't think he killed them. I think he killed the Bernice and then the lady. And I think he kept that lady alive.
Yeah.
Because she reminded him of his mom. I think he killed her like eventually. But yeah. I don't think he killed her like he killed Bernice right away. Like
yeah. To kill that many people though, and no missing reports of any missing women like that around town, kind of was like, I don't think he killed those women. He just got them from the goddamn cemetery.
Unless they were indigenous women.
Yeah. Unless they're just really under radar. But for me, somebody was going to.
Because a lot of women go missing. They don't report it.
Yeah. So police has found over 40 bodies that Ed said that he got these bodies from the cemetery. So he did admit to killing the 2 women. I don't know what he was doing with Bernice.
What happened with your vote thing?
Oh, I didn't make it to the 5th.
Oh, damn.
Next year.
I was about to say.
Next year. So, yeah, that's the story of Mr. Ed Gein.
Now I'm about to go watch Silence of the Lamb.
It is only like Buffalo Bill's the only character that he inspired. Everybody thought it was the Hannibal Lecter, but
it was Buffalo Bill.
It was Buffalo Bill because Buffalo Bill wanted to be a woman. He was literally trying to make a woman suit.
But Hannibal was inspired by another killer.
Yeah, there's a lot of
think of the killer. Though.
That's
he was inspired by.
Yeah, that's a series that me and Portia are gonna do. I want to do killers that inspired movies, and there's a lot. There's more than you think. Like I was surprised when I started looking into that movies that were inspired by these killers. So
I didn't know Ed Gein. I heard that name before. I didn't know what he did until recently. I didn't know that Buffalo Bill was insightful. You know,
because everybody only knew like Texas Chainsaw because they always said that. They always said.
I didn't know that. I thought Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a real person.
Mm-mm.
He is a real person that killed people.
It was a house of it, but
he really killed people though.
Yeah, but it wasn't like Leatherface. They didn't wear skin.
I gotta look that up. I don't believe that.
Yeah, because I did it.
Because I could have sworn. Because in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it says this is based on real events.
Yeah, because they want you to be scared.
But I think it really did happen though. That house is really there.
Yeah, that house is there.
People live in that fucking house. You can't go in there. You gotta take pictures from the street.
Yeah. But so that's the little story of Ed Gein. See you in our next video.